Oh, got the coughing fits. So, I don't have anything to really ask for except to ask for your ear. And hopefully this can help you understand where a lot of Americans are concerned right now. So, I'm just going to rewind this message.
I was able to do an in-depth conversation about it with Captain Bentley. All I was asking him to do was send it to the FBI and get a response from the FBI. That's all I need him to do. And he refuses to do that. I got Clark Millsap back on the phone a couple months ago. And again, all I was asking him to do was ping the FBI, the new administration FBI, to see if they would do anything. Because again, I'm being assassinated. It's constant harassment for 7 years. Clark Millsap said, no, he's not going to try to do that. I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning is that law enforcement won't just get an answer from the FBI. I mean, I'm being harassed continuously. I'm being harassed while I'm laying in my bed, while I'm getting ready for work. I recently lost another job because of the harassment. I'm without work right now. They've given me kidney failure. My transmission's failing in my only vehicle that I have left. I've been trying to handle it the right way, you know. I'm a peaceful guy. A lot of people would have already chosen to do something stupid. But just here to see if there's anything y'all can do to help. If you can ask law enforcement, what exactly is it that's keeping them from pinging the FBI? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a yes or no from the FBI, not from my local law enforcement. I don't need them holding up, me getting my life back. So I don't know what you are able to do, but I just wore out. I've had enough.
Me too.
We're at 7 years. I've lost everything. I need some kind of new momentum towards the finish line. That's what I'm just here to see if y'all can help me out with that.
I mean, if you've talked to our police department and they've basically done what they're supposed to do, then there's nothing more.
Well, they haven't done what they're supposed to do is what I'm saying.
Well, if they've spoken to you about the situation, I'll talk to the police chief tomorrow and see if there's anything more that we can do. And if so, they'll reach out to you.
And you've got Investigator Bentley. You have his contact information, or he has yours. More importantly, I think
he should. And again, if he could just give me an answer from the FBI, his refusal to ping the FBI or get me a response from the FBI is criminal in nature. Clark Millsap is criminal for the way he's handled it. His own deputy is on body cam video.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Mr. Williams.
You did that last time, but I'm being assassinated by the sheriff. Just to be crystal clear with you.
Sir, if you would, could you walk here and just write your name and your phone number on this for me?
Sure.
So that the city manager can have them contact you after, just in case they don't have your contact him.
Is because Sheriff Clark Millsap is personally involved with trying to end my life. He's been refusing to do his job for 7 years. His deputies on video telling me that my harassment can go on for many years. We're at 7 years now, so it needs to stop.
Okay. If you would, just print your name and your phone number there, and then we can follow up on you with that.
So he's giving him his name and phone number.
Yeah.
I would like to know how this situation turned out, but I can't find anything.
Is that a 9 or 4? 9. Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to get some
I understand, sir. No problem at all.
kind of wore out. But I appreciate anything y'all can do, so just look to hear from you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll reach out to the police chief in the morning and find out what they.
Just why you can't ping the FBI. Cool.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
So it's like being wore out with every single intention of these people. And so I'm just going to put it this way, because he's an ex-cop and he was placed into the targeting program. So the internet of a body being a whistleblower if you say anything, they'll treat you as it's a mental health condition and a mental health case, but that's how they built the program in the first place, and it's just how it works in the dark psychology and the psychology suku sciences out here. And so if you never, or so they never actually caught using cybernetics and cosmos remote neural monitoring, and it's through the lower attitude satellites and Wi-Fi and 5G and electromagnetic dirty electricity fields that are being placed within our homes and our surroundings. And it follows these nanosensors, while they have like nanotechnology and dust particles that surround and follow what he calls nano mafia corporations, or an agency that promotes suicide or a washout of life through 3 factors in this way that hands dead mental health locked up for people for life with money that can pay to get lawsuits out and or out of the trouble within any factors of a society. If the money's right, they're using the biometrics and the biomechanics and computer interfaced artificial intelligence chatterbot systems, dismissing mental health auditory effect where nobody else can hear it but the targeted victim. So there's many victims that are experiencing V2K. I don't know as far as that's concerned, or if the technology fails on me to some degree, because I do heavy prayer about these things. That any, basically, I believe it's for your benefit to pray in a way that is to protect your body and protect your person, the temple of which God designed, right? And I don't think there's a way to supersede that besides through assault and proxy warfare. And so, for myself, I've been dealing with proxy warfare, and it's just never ended in my whole entire life since I was born. Like, I've been dealing with ritual abuse. So he goes on to say, so it's just crazy. Just like this other video, they have technology that they can put voices inside of your head without anybody else that can hear it, and it can literally drive a person crazy, psychologically being seen as demented, and nobody after their 40 years goes, or nobody after their 40 inches goes crazy just trying to keep a steady job. Doesn't matter how they decorate it. It's just they're ruining people's reputations, and that how they're taking money out of hedge funds of raises to get rid of their problems. Like, people are legitimately trying to figure out ways to go around the fact that they're able to hack bodies, basically, and utilize bodies in like an open air prison system. And it's to get rid of the problems that these millions of programmers out here within the programming that they can consider out of line. And this is goes on to say this is in the millions, and I'm programming out of line so they could profit off of what how he's moving and what he's worried about with his family's reputation, and with having dodging whatever they throw at you. And so if they're throwing these things at a person, it's to get your life into this corporation that they, the love and respect he's saying that he had, the love and respect that he said he had. Sorry, I lost where I was at. Whatever they threw at me. Oh, okay, he said he had love and respect that he had for the field. I didn't understand what he was saying here, but he had love and respect for the field that he worked in, and it's just basically him asking if they can give him a chance to try and have a better life and a better family life after be putting through these programs for 17 years ago that didn't make me go crazy. It was scared. It was that he was scared straight because of what he went through during the experimentation investigation. He says, I guess he fucked up these forensics predictive policing policies, is what he's talking about, within public safety of federal forensics. So this is so inhumane. It's been what's literally broke me over garbage and lies that was he says that he had to die. Like, he's saying that he was basically being sentenced to die. So you couldn't put a worse curse on somebody to be put in this situation, torturing you to become something you don't want to be. I've also had programs with death that they picked the wrong person because I was worried about my son who I worked with. They didn't care. They got into him and they can erase memories and give them autoimmune disorders. And who's involved with these programs and corporations? He's wondering, because it just needs to stop. And being that it's true, like if they're doing this to his own son, I might not be such a bad person to talk with him in the general, just because that can definitely be arsenic poisoning along with any other poisoning that they can put in your path somehow. And he says that he kept his son around, and then they fired him after I wouldn't do anything for a year and a half while they were trying to program me with their experimentation that they had at work. I was always hurt hearing them talking about how much it costed to get it started. 1.4 million. They knew other factors. There's a lot of people I cared about who I worked with. I met their families. When I was there almost 5 years, I worked there over my pay, over lies, and over the garbage that the people I cared about helped me accomplish who I was. As these haters worked, they were met up with their kids. You know, they're basically the same programming as met up with their own children. And then what the corporation would do for the reputation, it's like he's saying they picked the wrong person. These programs are hidden in plain sight just to blame it on a mental health condition. And if you talk about it, you're the one that's crazy, and it's because you don't see it or hear it, and I can understand that. But when you have technology that can do this, it needs to be heavily weighed in. He's saying, I just think you need to think about it, or do whatever you can to think about it. I worded it a little bit different because I'm understanding what he's saying, and he's just drawn up, looking for help out here in the world where these sick fucks are actually getting away with, this drive-through type of chain of events of your life. And it's literally like weaved into every last little facet of your life. It can be weaved into your love life and your family life and your work life and just every area of your life. Like just driving home, it can be, the drive-through of many areas of your life, not even just the physical attributes of where you go, but the actual state of minds that it can actually procreate. And so I had a writing here. I'd love to learn how this situation turned out on the flip side for this guy, like the next day and the day after that, and so on and so forth, because I can't find it out here. And so if for some reason these things are ending people's lives, I'd like to know if that guy ended up dying or if something else happened entirely in his life, if he got help that he deserved. There's a lot of us out here that do deserve this help, and I personally feel like I want to sue for like 86 trillion times 86 billion times 86 million times 86 times 860 times 8,886 for 86ing us this way. Like I believe that in Jesus' mighty name, I would like to sue them for that kind of money, because they've literally taken away all of our lives. Anyone that can care about us in our lives, anyone through a whole entire life system can get hacked and hijacked in these type of criminal syndicates, because that's what it is. It's criminal syndicates working within their criminal families to work within certain bloodlines or whatever. Just it's a lot of not awful things that are being placed inside of people's lives, and it's without any kind of due process, because it's heavily working right into the states and right into the arms of those people that are supposed to protect us. So these people can also instigate to torture campaign and also prevent others' growth. I believe that it can take even family members away from other family members their whole life, to circle back with them inside of their lives within all of this evil, to circle back friends, circle back people just to get in your path, circle back people that can keep you poisoned, keep you in a lost state of mind their whole entire lives, while they can keep on circling back this way. It just continues the identity erasure and the integrity of the person. As you can hear, I'm pretty tired. I'm tired of the abuses. So anyone that could answer me would be great, because I've personally messaged the FBI for misconduct and for these type of crimes being placed inside of my life. My ability of reaching congressional outreach, my abilities to create petitions and create many campaigns regarding the matter, but that I've been being trafficked without my knowledge because of how the poisons work. It just doesn't leave you in a grounding state of mind where you can figure out this type of covert warfare. So now that I have figured it out, no one wants to come forward about the crime against me, because it's about heavily assassinating me, assassinating my character, and murdering me in my spirit, and murdering me altogether, to what I would call zipping up inside of my life to continuously make money off of my identity, as well that these Hollywood and satanic elite do through these, creations of, whatever, 13 or 86 movies that it would take to cover my life, given different titles and whatnot, and just to keep people entertained. So I don't really find it entertaining. I find it really fucking sick. I find the Hollywood and the whole campaign of this industry of controlling media and controlling our pixels to control the mind, I don't agree to any of it. I'd really like to sue for that amount of money in Jesus' mighty name, because the main crime against me is that they're affecting so many targeted individuals and so many lives on a day-to-day basis, and so it's created and wreaked complete havoc in our lives, much like that of a warfare. And so I would like to personally utilize that money to help other targeted individuals and other people dealing with an abusive situation, so that they can find asylum in some kind of fashion that's not also working within the systems of pedophilia and trafficking. So it's just the fact that even if we wanted to work a McDonald's job and just have a love for our lives enough to enjoy the couple peanuts that we get for the rest of our lives, we aren't even allowed to that type of life, to find justice and liberty. And if not, that the whole liberty is like thrown out the window. I mean, and maybe even literally in some cases, because of how these people are being treated. So if anything, people should be able to work together to help us out, where the banks have literally broken all of us people. It's kept people in poverty, meant for the destruction and for the entertainment of the super rich. And so maybe we can all work together to break the same banks that broke us, or maybe we can just create some stormtroopers to go to Zuckerberg's $200 billion bunker, where $200 million would have been plenty, don't you think, sir? But these few ideas are just one in a million that I've got, circling back and trying to make people think about what is actually happening out here, because it's literally working to steal back over 2 years of nothing but assault and heavy pain in my life. because of the way that these people worked in my life, and now that I can name them and see them and actually know who they are and know where they were coming from in my life and having memories that have flooded me back personally. Yeah, I got many more than 1 million there circling back around in my mind, but literally it's the heaviest pain that you could ever imagine happening to somebody. You know, people acting like Kenny on the block. I mean, people acting like Jenny on the block all over your life and livelihood. So it would be great if someone could share and like this post, just because I'm trying to figure out helpful support not only for myself but for the millions of others out here who have elevated to this very serious problem in this country over and over, where the targets are literally just losing their lives, and rather than being human beings about it, their contribution is to terrorize our lives. So if you could take in the contribution of just sharing this post with other people so that they can know that these things exist and these programs are heavily working and assassinating people's lives for hacking them and taking over the rest of their identities from there on out, utilizing, you know, artificial mechanisms and artificial means to keep people online and keep people's stories rotating, you know. And through that rotation, it's a targeting program that's allowing these people that are doing it to us to make money on us. It's an energy transfer, or how I would call energy harvesting. They're harvesting our energy, siphoning our time, energy, resources, love lives, everything away from us, because it's a targeting program that nobody actually wants to believe exists when it does. And it's basically like you step out of line or you're out of character as far as like how these sick fucks want to run the society. It's not allowing anyone to actually do anything right with their own lives, or ever have any kind of portion of their own lives to like be able to compute correctly within their own minds as to what and how we can move within these systems. And so I really believe that this is a very important video. If you could share it out to other people, that would mean a great deal to me, and especially if you can get it into the hands of congressional support or congressmen or anyone that can actually get it over to the right channels and the right people. I already know that it's going to be going through the systems of the people that don't want these kinds of conversations to be out here and be a dialogue, but these dialogues need to be a part of our regular day sciences, right along with the artificial intelligence that humanity is ultra wanting to create, so that they can take over people's lives in this way, and then, you know, quite potentially make millions and millions, and if not billions and billions, probably, well, yeah, billions and billions of money off of people's lives that they've decimated by taking the storyline of their story and flipping it into Hollywood and things like that, and things of that nature. So I just wanted this message to be out here, and I'm sure every piece of my content will be taken so that they can utilize it and clip up my work specifically for Hollywood after they wipe away the bloodline. This is how they create money in sick pedophile industries, and it just makes me really fearful for our world, because the fact of the matter is that this is just a god-awful thing that is happening here, and people should really wake up to see the truth, and may God rest inside of every single person's heart and soul that comes across this video about this the heaviest type of crime that I believe that one can be afflicted with, because they're working on a genocidal depopulation plan. There's no other use for us that they feel, because they just look at what I'm saying here. They're ending my life so that they can utilize my life and literally hack my life to steal my life. It's an identity theft to take and continue after I die. So I don't like that, is what I'm saying. I don't agree to it, and I don't agree with the pixels of displaying these kinds of things to people in such a fashion of having total control and annihilating and assassinating their character while they're alive. So basically stealing away all of their energy is a spiritual murder, and then on top of it being that spiritual murder, they're murdering you and actually taking that value for themselves. Every little piece of value throughout your life, and every single thing of value that they can create from your life from there moving forward. So I just don't agree with these crimes, and I hope that this message spreads far and wide. Thank you very much for being here. God bless, and take care of yourselves.